my best advice, I mean, and I want to know if you agree with this, is if you have, I don't know the exact amount because it depends on the country. You know, in India it might be 10,000, in US it might be 50,000. But if you have less than a certain amount, I actually believe it's better to just pour that money instead of worrying about where to invest. Put that money into resources to help you, like, A, acquire skills, and B, like, scale businesses. So I found, like, when I had my first maybe $30,000-$40,000, like, the best use of my time at that point was to go and hire researchers, crypto researchers, to help me acquire.
But that's where you put your money in.
Exactly.
That's an investment.
I believe that's the best investment for people.
I agree.
Under a certain amount.
Well, you need to level up the video game character.
Yeah.
You know when you were playing the RPG or the MMORPGs back in the day, where you would be like that level 1 peasant with the wooden sword, and you would go to the orc, and the orc would just fuck you up. But then you fought the orc enough times, you got XP points, and then you got to the point where you were level 99, and one sword swipe, and you'd fuck up the orc. And then you could fight different beasts, and they were in proportion to your skill level. It's the same thing with life, right? You face demons, you face challenges, you face problems, you face enemies, difficulties, and they're only challenging in direct proportion to your skill set. That's why the problems that we used to have are like, that's light work. Oh, you can make more money again. Because we've unlocked that level of the character where those problems are no longer problems. They're just annoyances and inconveniences. So if you level up the video game character, which is the name of the game, these problems are no longer problems. You crush them by becoming better. So I agree fully. You have to initially invest in the video game character. And then once you have enough, you start building up the little gold coins in the top right of the...
And then you're just siphoning, you know?
You just siphon it. Yeah, start leveling up the character, the experience points, the attributes, the fucking treasury, the outfits, everything. Just start leveling everything out.
This is actually the problem, I think, with a lot of people that do invest in crypto. They focus on investing as the end goal. It's like, you know, where should I put my $1,000? Whereas I think it's equally, if not more important, to have, like, a major focus on building up your income streams so you can funnel money in. Like you discussed earlier, how like you had a successful e-commerce business that allowed you to take big bets on Obviously, no one can afford 1% the average person can't afford 1% of Pancake Swap. You had the income to facilitate that.
Yes.
So that's also very important. I feel like people, they try and
you need income producing skills.
Yeah.
Income producing skills, which once goes back to the trifecta. Right? If you get the trifecta figured out of being the best at what you do, being in high demand, and being irreplaceable, think about marketing. Think about sales. You can apply these 3 principles in anything. Let's go to sales. If you're the best sales rep, aka you close leads, you'll be in high demand. If you select the winning offer, which means you'll have enough leads to make money, and you'll be irreplaceable if your conversion rate is good enough. You'll make money. You will make money. Being the best is fully in your control. Being in high demand is fully in your control because you select the niche that you want to be in. And then being irreplaceable is fully in retrospect based off of what? Your results. Being the best is going to yield positive results. Positive results is going to make you irreplaceable.
Sales is so good, man. I think especially with AI, like sales 100%. Is not going away.
And it's just like, it's not just sales. I just was using it as an example because we were talking about income producing skills.
Yeah.
You take these income producing skills, you invest into them, you hit the trifecta, and then you find that you have more money to invest than you are spending. And this expendable money now operates differently because you don't want to be investing out of a place of scarcity and poverty because you're going to invest differently. Right? You're going to invest because you need to make something. When you're investing out of abundance and because you have enough, well, that's fine. I'll just put this here. I'll park it. Not think about it. Not worry about it. If you're checking your P&L every 20 minutes, and I get it, bull runs, different vibes.
It changes the game a bit.
But if you're checking your P&L every 20 minutes and you think that that's productivity, it's far from it. You need income producing skills. You need to build that moat, invest. Once you create wealth, you need to multiply it. And then once you multiply it, you preserve it. And preserving, it's about preserving the purchasing power long-term of the asset. And the asset is, once again, your time. Because if today you gave me 10 hours of your time and I gave you $1,000 in return, in 20 years, I would probably have to pay you double because of the amount of deflation, the amount of inflation and the amount of debasement that's taking place for those same amount of hours. So your hour is what's becoming devalued. It's not the money because you have to work twice as hard. That's why most people, we're talking about the hamster wheel, it's hard. It's hard. Why is it hard? People don't ask, why is my life hard? Why is it hard? Well, for a couple of reasons. We talked about the moat. You live off of your fixed expenditure. You can't move off of it. Two is the feeling, we talked about the conditioning, of unproductivity. The moment you stop doing what you're currently doing, the 9 to 5, you feel unproductive. That's conditioning. Sometimes not moving is the best move.
Yeah.
That's been in my life. So quitting my job and waiting 3 months till an opportunity showed up was because I created that moat of 6 months for me to be able to actually look for opportunity.
It's the same with investing. Like people try
100%.
and overtrade. Sometimes, like you just said, you took a break. I just went to Europe because the market was slow. There wasn't as much opportunity. Obviously, there's some merit to grinding nonstop.
So once again, it really has to, like I said, it has to do with the narrative. It has to do with the trends. It has to do with where you select to focus your time, energy, and attention. Life is simple. So whether you pick crypto, whether you pick digital marketing, whether you pick e-commerce, whether you pick fucking landscaping, whether you pick plumbing, it doesn't matter. All it comes down to is I need to expend X amount of units every single day of time and energy. How much do I want in return for that? And do I want the path of least resistance or do I want the complicated path? It's all your choice. But when motherfuckers out there are printing money out of thin air, printing money out of thin air, why the fuck would I work for it?
Yeah, being a slave to a commodity.
Why would I work for it? I understand working to a certain point in order to establish financial freedom. But once I have freedom, why the fuck am I working for money? I'm no longer working for money. I work for other things. I work for relationships. I work for influence. I work for connections. I work for my network. And maybe because I'm bored, but no longer for money. So the point is, you need to change the mindset. And every person, even multimillionaires, they're in hamster wheels. False productivity, false productivity, false productivity, false, because it's not the highest upside, highest leverage opportunity. So
I'm the same. I often get bogged down with like admin stuff.
I mean, look at it. Look at just, you need to look at nature. Look how nature works. Does the lion go out and hunt every single day? Or does it eat and then it rests? It eats and then it rests. This idea of hunting every single day.
Chooses the moment.
It's not right. It's not proper. The conditioning is off. The slave masters, they realized back in the day you had to crack the whip over the back of the slave because they were like, hey, we'll just force people into slavery. So we'll pillage a village, take all the women, make them our wives, take the kids, put them in the army, take the husbands. If they're dissidents, the men, we'll kill them. If they're good, we'll make them slaves. Well, now that you have a slave culture, all you know is slavery. So what if we all know a system that is just based on slavery? We don't know freedom. We don't know anything else. When you begin to study history, you begin to realize during the feudal age, when the peasants kind of worked on the land of the feudal kings, the feudal lords, they only worked 140 days out of the year. The other 200 days, they chilled. They didn't work. They went to the creek, they went to the river, they fucked around. Half of the year, they couldn't, work on the land because it was snowing, X, Y, and Z. So today, we work more than the peasants. Most people work more than the peasants used to and have less to show for it. They have no land, they have no house, they have nothing. It's the illusion of slavery. It's the illusion of freedom. Back in the day, you at least knew you were a slave. You knew it. You had to buy your freedom. Today, you don't know you're a slave. Instead of cracking a whip, they've just printed money out of thin air and told you it's valuable and this is what you're supposed to work your entire life for. I don't work for money. Fuck that. I work for relationships. I work for network. I work for personal development. I work to provide services and goods and values to the marketplace. And if money comes as a return, as a byproduct, so be it. But to be working for money is to be working for what somebody else owns because you don't own that money. And most people, if I asked them, define money, they wouldn't be able to. So most people are working for something that they don't even know what it is.